Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. A pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's Dan, and you're listening to
The ProBoh Show!
Good morning, boys and girls. It's Friday. Oh, Dan. Oh, disappointment. Oh, yeah. Oh, Dan.
I was checking if I was recording. I had the other screen on.
Okay, no worries, dude. No worries. It's Friday. Dan slept very poorly last night, didn't you, Dan?
Yes.
And you had a coffee this morning,
Yes.
which makes me swell with pride. But what did you do with your coffee this morning, Dan?
I spilled it.
You spilled it all over yourself.
Yes.
It's going to be one of those days, friends. It's going to be one of those days. Welcome on the Friday edition of the ProBoh Show. It is, of course, the 5th of June, 2026, 8:30 a.m. Central European Time. Welcome. It's 15 degrees out there for those of you listening in Madrid. I know we have a lot of international listeners too. How's it going, friends? How's it going? First of all, Dan, I would be remiss not to mention the birthday of the lovely Sophia. It's yeah. I have to sing it now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sophia. Happy birthday to you. So happy birthday, Sophia, if you're listening, which I'm sure you are. I actually told her to send me a red flag if I go too far today. So I'm going to count the red flags because we have a controversial one today. I'm not going to kid you. Today's 100 humans, we asked them to name something politicians lie about. Nombra algo sobre lo que los políticos mienten. And today's unpopular opinion is the word woke. La palabra woke is a meaningless political label. Or a dog whistle, as we commonly call it. La palabra woke es una etiqueta política vacía. I guess you could say a dog whistle, un mensaje clave para movilizar a determinadas audiencias. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Dan, you look worried. Don't worry. The last time I got a death threat, they didn't come to the office. Let's see who's joining us live in the audience right now. If you want to join them, very simply, twitch.tv/professional bohemian. twitch.tv/professional bohemian. That's bohemio profesional, pero en inglés. Let's see who's joining us immediately. We've got BTI. How are you doing? He says, hi, thank God it's Friday. God, thank God, Dan. The Pope's here, friends. The Pope's here. So everybody's working from home except for me and Dan and Fitz. The Bridge is here. She says, good morning, my beautiful, bonny, bouncy bohemians and the inimitable, bouncy Bob. And, of course, darling, dashing, dandily, dutifully dexterous Dan the radio human. Welcome, Bridge. Thank you for giving me a run for my money this morning. Vero's here. Good morning, beautiful bohemians around the universe and beyond. Friday. Giving you a run for your money, Rob, asks the Bridge. Dexterously deficient, I should have said. Yeah, because he spilled coffee all over himself. I'm proud. So you drank a coffee because you were worried about not being on form today. Right, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, and what did you do? You were late with a Friday. Oh, yeah. There you go. What's the... Dan... Nothing worse can happen, can it?
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
From here on in, it can only good happen. All right, should we get into a bit of news? Do you know what a grey gamer is, Dan? Un jugador gris.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know until someone sent me this. It was sent to me yesterday afternoon. Nobody makes games for retired people. Nadie está haciendo videojuegos para los jubilados. The growing yet underserved market for grey gamers. El creciente y desatendido. Right? Is that right? Okay. Desatendido mercado de los jugadores de edad avanzada. Interesting, and thank you for this. It was Pedro, not the usual Pedro, a different one who sent me this yesterday. I feel seen being myself a grey gamer. I'm not quite retired, but I do love a good video game. The games industry may be overlooking one of its biggest growth opportunities: older players. As populations age across UK, Europe, Japan, and the US, more people are entering retirement having grown up with video games and still wanting to play them. Analysts cited in the article argue that this audience has money, loyalty, and gaming literacy, yet the industry continues to design and market mostly for younger players. In the UK alone, millions of gamers aged 55 and over are already active, and that number is expected to keep rising. The argument is simple. An entire generation raised on games is getting older, but the business still behaves as if gaming belongs mainly to the young. Interesting, right, Dan? Do you think you'll still be playing video games when you're my age?
Well, maybe, but what's the difference between a game for elder people and young people?
I think they're more talking about the marketing. They're marketed more at young people, right? There's very little representation of older people in video games. I can think of one video game that has an older protagonist. Joel in what's the video game made by Naughty Dog? Zombie. They made it into a TV show. Oh, God.
The Last of Us?
The Last of Us, thank you. So Joel was in his kind of like late 40s, and I think there was one of the Solid Snake games where for some reason he was an old man. But yeah, a lack of representation in the marketing of these games. Does that make sense rather than the games themselves? The games themselves, I think it's irrelevant, isn't it? If the protagonist is male, female, I really don't give a damn. In fact, some of my most recent purchases were the new Tomb Raider games. My God, Dan. Amazing. Anyway, what older players often need is not flashy marketing or punishingly complex design, but accessibility, familiarity, and convenience. The article points to retro games, cozy games, and affordable hardware, recognizable brands, and better ways for lapsed players to return after long breaks. It also suggests that many modern games lose older players because they become too sprawling, too demanding, or too hard to re-enter after time away. You know, the article had me and then lost me here, because I actually love big, sprawling, complex, difficult games. Yeah, you lost me here. I don't need the games industry to pander to my failing memory. I need it to challenge me as an older person, to keep challenging me with the puzzles, ever increasingly more difficult, increasingly more complex. That's what I enjoy. Anyway, it also suggests that many modern games lose older players. That's where we left off. Underneath all of this is a wider industry blind spot. Most games are still made and marketed for younger people, so older audiences are rarely treated as a priority. The companies that take them seriously now may gain a major long-term advantage. Other than me, Dan, do you know any advancing age gamers?
No, not really.
I should stop referring to myself as advancing in age, man. It's because it's my birthday next week. I'm going to be 48. Does that make me old, Dan? Well, I'm not going to ask.
Well, when you said...
Go ahead,
no,
Dan.
I was going to defend you. Now I'm not.
You were going to defend me. Continue.
Yes, when you... when you said Joe, I don't know if it's called Joe, the one from Last of Us.
Yeah.
I didn't consider him an elder person.
Yeah, well, he wasn't he, in the game? I think he was supposed to be 50, around 50. What a badass in the game, though. Have you played Last of Us?
Well, I started it, but...
You didn't finish. Oh, the end is so good. So good. I was a little... Did you see the TV series?
No.
I was a little disappointed in the TV series, if I'm honest. It was a little lackluster, and it lacked the emotional weight of the video game. Sorry, I don't want to get too involved in a sprawling video game conversation, because I know I'll lose a lot of you while I do. Anyway, let's see who else is joining us. Good morning, mates. How you doing, Mr. Cruzando? They need bigger letters and reminders, says the bridge. Jeez Louise. Go to hell, Dan. Oh, could you just speak up a little bit? I can't hear. What's going on? Come on. So there you go, video games, an underserved market for grey gamers. I love that. Look, I do have more news, but I think we're going to go to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Why am I going early, Dan? Well, because I think we have a lot to talk about, don't we? I think we have a lot to talk about. Dan, this is where your heart rate increases and you lock the door. All right. We're going to talk about the word woke. Why are we going to talk about the word woke today? Well, because one of my favorite directors, Dan, is, oh God, what's his goddamn name? See, advancing in age. Well, I'm looking forward to the movie The Odyssey that's coming out. It's coming out this year.
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan, thank you.
How do I know and you know?
I know, Dan. I was getting there. I was searching on Google, Dan. My new memory. Yeah, so I look forward to any Christopher Nolan movie. I've seen all of his films except Memento at the cinema. I find him an amazing director. Even his worst critical movie, Tenet, I really loved. Christopher Nolan directed Tenet, Inception, Oppenheimer, Interstellar, Odyssey, Dark Knight. I mean, he's a director that's touched every single genre, and now he's getting into the sword and sandal genre and delivering The Odyssey. And I'm really looking forward to it. Because anything that he makes, I will go and see at the cinema. Oppenheimer was a work of genius. I think Inception was amazing. Interstellar, a visual painting, just amazing. The Dark Knight trilogy, treating my favorite superhero as if he were a real person. I think the guy is amazing. And that was a widely held belief up until The Odyssey. Do you know about the controversy around The Odyssey, Dan?
No.
Well, there's a few things. Right, I think mainly it was the fact that Lupita Nyong'o, I believe she's an African-American actress, or she may be actually African living in America. She's a black actress playing Helen of Troy. And I saw the resurgence of a word that I thought we'd all killed. That word is woke. Sir Christopher Nolan's gone woke. Helen of Troy is black. Mwah. You know, completely disregarding the idea or the fact that Helen of Troy never existed. She's a fictional character. I thought we'd killed the word woke, friends. I thought it had gone. I thought we could all live together in peace and harmony, but there we go. The little snowflakes, the anti-woke mob need something to cry about, don't they? So here we are. The word woke is a meaningless political label or a dog whistle. La palabra woke es una etiqueta política vacía y un mensaje clave para movilizar a determinadas audiencias. Why is it meaningless? Well, first of all, Dan, how do you think they voted on Instagram?
I think they voted true.
They did vote true. This, as it always does through the show, will probably move. Right now, it's 63% true, 37% false. What do you think, Dan?
I don't know. I'm in the...
Are you worried about death threats? Come on, Uncle Rob will protect you.
I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle.
But I think it's a dog whistle.
It is a dog whistle. The word dog whistle, by the way, I did post a little kind of, because I recognize it is, its literal meaning diverges from the actual meaning. A political dog whistle is a coded message or communication through words or phrases or symbols that is harmless to the general public, right? It doesn't kind of mean what it might mean, but it does send a clear, specific message to an intended audience. A dog whistle, so silent to most of us, but quite a clear meaning to a certain group of people. First of all, I want to tell you about the history of the word woke. I mean, it's a term. It emerged in African American vernacular English around the mid 20th century. It meant being alert to racial prejudice and discrimination. But over time, its meaning has shifted and is used in two very different ways depending who's speaking. So there's a original meaning, which we're not talking about today, which is staying aware or to stay woke, as they would have said it back then in the mid 20th century. It was like a rallying cry. A piece of advice to remain alert and informed against systemic inequalities, right? But then there's a modern meaning, isn't there, friends? When you see a black mermaid in a Disney movie, oh, so woke! Boycott Disney, they're woke. I'm sorry. Look, I'll try and keep myself under control. Anyway, so it's a polarizing label, right? By the end of the 2010s, the term was widely adopted by conservative or rightly, let's just call them anti-woke people. And its meaning has been contorted really into a pejorative, I think, right? It's used as a catch-all insult, a broad brush to criticize progressive, or for the want of a better word, woke people, right? To kind of, pin a flag into cancel culture or corporate diversity initiatives, things like that. Used to refer to overly sensitive, politically correct, and performative people. Why do I think it's empty? Because by their own definition, the wokest people on the planet are the anti-woke people. Allow me to explain. For example, your anti-woke mob claim to hate cancel culture, right, Dan? Would you agree with that?
Well, not specifically my mom, but yes.
Yeah, right? They go like, oh, cancel culture, you can't say anything nowadays, you get cancelled. However, Bud Light uses a transgender influencer in an advert. No, boycott Bud Light. Target has like a pride collection in the US to celebrate LGBTQ Pride Month. Lots of backlash. No one shops at Target anymore. Disney has a black mermaid. No more Disney. Boycott Disney. Colin Kaepernick takes a knee, protesting police brutality. Oh no, not taking a knee, kneeling down. Dixie Chicks chasing him to the chicks. Oh my God, no. M&M, do you remember the M&M's backlash from these anti-woke people? Like, specifically Tucker Carlson. So M&M's changed the look of the green, or was it the purple M&M? It was the female one.
The green one.
Was it the green one? The green M&M isn't sexy anymore. M&M's are woke. What amazes me is they're completely immune to their own hypocrisy. Right? They're completely immune to how ridiculous it all is. They pretend to defend free speech, right? You can't say anything in more free speech, unless that free speech is used to, to protect transgender rights, or it's anti-racist, feminist, or pro-Palestinian, anti-colonial, or, critical of traditional power. No, that's not free speech. That's dangerous. I like my free speech. But the most pernicious to me is when the anti-woke mob point the finger. Are you holding up a red flag, Dan? You are, aren't you?
No.
I can see you writing something there. The most pernicious to me. Make M&M sexy again. Oh, Dan.
That would be a good hashtag.
It would be a good hashtag. What is the most kind of hilarious to me is when the anti-woke mob point the finger at the wokeists, as they call them, and say, you're all snowflakes, when they do nothing but cry about rainbow flags, pronouns, black actors in fantasy movies, women in action movies, a beer advert that can trigger months or weeks of outrage in the anti-woke people. The biggest snowflakes on the planet. Why? Why is everyone offended? Why? Everyone's so easily offended. Oh, I don't like transgender people on the TV. Why? M&M's not sexy anymore. Why? Why are hobbits black? Why? Everyone's so offended except me. I'll tell you what, I'm going to send an AI-generated video to my friends. That'll make me feel better. Why? It's a meaningless, empty term that describes themselves more than anyone else. If you want the truth. A psychological fact is we tend to hate in others the things we hate the most about ourselves, and I think that is what describes the anti-woke mob more than anything else. You know, they accuse the wokeists of virtue signaling while on the other hand saying, I'm brave, I tell the truth, I'm not afraid, I defend common sense, I protect children. Yeah, the wokeists are the virtue signalers, right? Just an empty little dog whistle, right? Then they say identity politics is bad, right? But they are the only ones that are obsessed with identity. Complaining that progressives talk too much about race, gender, sexuality and representation, but then build entire media apparatus around race, gender, sexuality and representation. It's crazy. They say, the wokeists separate and divide everyone into groups. What, like Democrats, right? Like calling people degenerates, elites, globalists, feminists, Marxists, snowflakes, groomers, NPCs, real men. Yeah? Yeah, it's the wokeists, right? Dividing everyone into groups. Or the classic, facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah, exactly. Unless those facts are talking about inequality, climate change, police violence, colonial history, gender discrimination, public health, you know, as long as it's not those facts, because those facts hurt. That's what we're talking about today. An empty political dog whistle that means nothing, because the people they're actually describing are themselves. Should we get into some pros and cons, Dan? Now I've finished monologuing a little bit. Okay, the term has become meaningless dog whistle. Its definition, pro one, so we'll go into the pros first. Woke has been used to describe everything from diversity initiatives to electric cars, climate policy, corporate advertising, university policies, movie casting decisions. The term can mean almost anything and often ends up meaning very little. In many political discussions, calling someone woke serves as a shortcut for disapproval without explaining what is actually wrong with it. Ask 10 people what woke means, and you're likely to get 10 different answers. And each one of those answers is more likely to describe the person saying it. The label can lump together race, gender, sexuality, environmentalism, corporate marketing, and academic theory as if it were a single movement, and it's not. The term often acts as an identity marker, signaling political tribe membership rather than conveying precise information. And the final point in the pro column, where 67% of our people voted today, is most people using it couldn't agree on a consistent definition. Critics argue the word's popularity stems precisely from its ambiguity. All right, should we get into the cons, where 37% of our people voted, the people that I have just alienated from listening to the show. Welcome, guys. It originally described a real concept. The term emerged from awareness of social injustice, particularly racial inequity, before entering mainstream political discourse. There I can agree. It did have an actual meaning at one point. It was to stay aware of systemic injustice among Americans of color. Many people use it consistently. Supporters of the term argue it refers to a recognizable window focused on identity, systemic inequality, and social activism. The problem is that, of course, that people who claim to use it consistently often disagree about where the boundaries are or what it even means, making the term unreliable in debate. It's more of a term that closes down conversation rather than encourages it. Oh, look at that. I could go on. Let's do one more. Some argue that despite the edge cases, most people understand the general attitudes and institutions being referenced. Look, understanding a vague feeling isn't the same as understanding a precise concept. When people say things like liberal, populist, socialist, conservative, they are established traditions, philosophies. There are policy positions behind them. Woke is just a catch-all insult. more than a coherent ideology. So I table it to you, friends. Sorry about monologuing so much this morning. I want you to tell me. The unpopular opinion is woke is the word woke is a meaningless, empty, political dog whistle. La palabra woke es una etiqueta política vacía y un mensaje en clave para movilizar a determinadas audiencias. True or false? Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I can see you all there in the chat being very respectful. I appreciate that, friends. I'll get to your comments after the break, as well as reading some messages I got on Instagram. Many messages today, so I probably can't get to them all. And of course, if we have time, if I don't go into another massive monologue, I will try and do today's Complete the News. 100 Humans as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Do vote in the poll, don't forget, and I will see you in a few short minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's now 9 a.m. Central European Time, and you're listening to me and Dan live. How are you doing in there, Daniel?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, you misunderstood a word, right? So I'm going to clarify it for everyone. Mob. The word mob. I'm not saying mum, madre. I'm saying mob. Anti-woke mob. Mob es un grupo de personas, right? It's got negative connotations. A mob usually have malicious intent. So just in case anyone was a little confused about that. All right, if you've just tuned in, we looked at an article about old gamers, or as there's a term I've just discovered, grey gamers. Am I a grey gamer, Dan, or am I just a gamer?
Right now, you're just a gamer.
Thank
Wait
God.
some years.
How many years do I have to wait? Come on, Dan.
Until 60.
Until 60. Okay, all right, dude. I've got 12 more years of gaming left. All right, cool. All right, thank you, Dan. Oh, you're a Dan today. See, you're not a Daniel. And then we got into today's unpopular opinion. Apologies for monologuing so much today. But, you know, it's an interesting one. I did want to piss some people off today. Why the hell not? The word woke is a meaningless political dog whistle. La palabra woke es una etiqueta política vacía y un mensaje clave para movilizar a determinadas audiencias. So it was 63% true in the Instagram poll. I think that's now shifted. I think we're much more on the true side now. Have we shifted your needle at all, Dan?
Well, I'm not a very strong. No tengo una posición muy fuerte, but I think it's a meaningless word.
It is a meaningless word, yeah. I mean, look, originally it wasn't, was it? And I think if the people, the anti-woke people accused of being woke, were a centralized group with a philosophical kind of subset, if they were at all organized, if it wasn't just used as a pejorative term, then perhaps it would have some meaning, but it's not, because the word woke, when it's used pejoratively, says much more about the person using it than it does the people that they're accusing. And 9 times out of 10, the things that annoy anti-wokeists, the things that annoy them are the things that they are actually revealing in themselves. You know, the snowflake nature of them. Wow, there's a black mermaid. Wow. There are black hobbits and elves. Wow. Oh, they've changed the race or gender of a TV character. Wow. Why is everyone so offended? I don't want to use pronouns. Wow. I'm not. Why do I have to be cisgender now? Wow. Come on. Come on. Duck your head in some cold water, will you? All right, let's get into it, shall we? So I do have some messages to read. A lot of you not wanting to chip into the debate here. Sorry, I know I get impassioned sometimes talking about some of these things. Vero says false. People think woke culture is a way to stand out some issues they consider are being ignored by society. Social justice, inclusion, diversity, social responsibility. Yeah, I would agree with that. If it was a term like uber liberals used to describe themselves, but it's not. It's a pejorative. It's an insult now, isn't it? You're woke. What? It's an insult now. I mean, it used to be at one point in time in the mid 20th century. It used to be a part of a phrase: "Stay woke." Stay alert to systemic injustice. But it's not now, is it? Now it's just an insult, and it's empty one at that, because it goes more to describe the people that use it than the people that they're describing themselves. As always, we hate in others the things we hate the most about ourselves. Let's see. It's meaningless for me insofar that it cropped up when my mind was away, says the Bridge. Thank you for the rundown, Rob. Not grey, Rob, not you. Obviously, you would need hair for that. Thanks, Bridge. Okay, the vote is still live for a few more minutes. Do chip in your opinion here. If you want to do that, twitch.tv/professional bohemian. Bohemian profesional, pero en inglés. That's twitch.tv/professional bohemian. Of course, you can always interact with all the polls and all the games that we do on the show on my Instagram, which is @ professional bohemian. Or if you're extra specially sexy, you can join me on Patreon, where you can read all the news that I use in the show, as well as see all the VODs and things like that. Yeah, I know this is a controversial issue. It shouldn't be. And again, I know, I get it. I am the bad guy. I'm the Vaughan Radio bad guy, here to say things that, that will challenge you. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just encouraging you to think, And I encourage you to disagree with me here and to come on and say, no, these wokeists, I would love that, personally. But your silence speaks volumes. Shall we get into some comments I received on Instagram? I think we probably should, right? Let's see. Who do we have here? Adrian Vasquez. Adrian says, at this point, it feels like a catch-all term people use for anything they don't like. Yeah, I mean, it is very politically weighed, though, isn't it? It is very politically weighed. But, I mean, in substance, it goes more to describe the people, If we're talking about snowflakes, right? I mean, who's more of a snowflake? The one screaming woke and stopping and drinking Bud Light? Or is it, is it the companies just, trying to market their products? Oh, there are black mermaids now. Wah. Oh, I don't like the term cisgender. Wah. Grow up. Go outside and touch some grass, will you? You got nothing better to complain about. Are you going to go see The Odyssey when it comes out, Dan?
I don't think so, to be sincere.
Me neither. You know why? Because the cost of living is so extreme right now that I don't think I can afford it. Yet, we're not talking about that, are we? We're talking about Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy. The anti-woke mob would have us believe that our culture is being co-opted. Wah! But what a great distraction from what is actually the problem, right? What a great distraction. Melissa Hartwell says, I think it used to mean something specific, but it's been stretched so much that it has lost a lot of clarity. Yeah. Yeah, when we're describing M&Ms as woke because the green M&M doesn't wear high heels anymore, I think you've jumped the shark, haven't you? Oh, dear. Tarek El Masri, sorry if I butchered your name there, says the word tells me more about the speaker's politics than what they're describing. But Tarek, I kind of agree with you, but we shouldn't, don't blame the con men, right? There are just a whole group of people, and I'm probably myself included to some degree, that have just been brainwashed by a polarizing media. And it's not their fault. It's not your average Joe who's listening to Joe Rogan and whatever right-wing influencers on whatever podcast they think has possession of the truth. You know, it's not their fault. It's not their fault for being brainwashed. I mean, again, when you kind of say that, you say, "Oh, I'm immune to any political. I'm immune to any political propaganda," and you're not. I'm sorry about that, Tarek, but you're not. None of us are. I mean, that's what makes propaganda so pernicious. Just so happens we've created these propagandizing machines run by algorithms that just want to piss us off all the time. And everyone is so angry. It's not the anti-woke mob. I know I'm not helping by using that vernacular. It's not their fault, really. They've just been a little brainwashed. They're angry and they need somewhere to point their anger. And rather than pointing it up towards billionaires and the political classes, they'd rather point it across the aisle, right? And of course, you know, Elon Musk is the first person joining any woke debate, isn't he? The world's richest man. Let that sink in. Yeah, you're right, Elon. It's not the immense amount of wealth collecting under your feet that's the problem. No. It's transgender people. It's black people. It's women. It's gay people. Yeah, that's the problem, Elon. Sorry, my bad, Elon. Yeah. An economy that creates massive wells of wealth while everybody else is getting poorer and poorer, killing the middle classes. That's not the problem. No. It's black mermaids. It's green M&Ms that aren't wearing high heels. That's the problem. Woke. Yeah, we can't blame people for being fooled, for being indoctrinated. It's the system that's the problem, right? But thank you anyway, Tarek. Sorry, I didn't mean to pick on you at all. Welcome, Con, joining us all the way from South Africa. How are you doing there, dude? Violet Perrin says, it's become one of those labels that ends arguments instead of helping people understand each other. Yeah. I mean, in some way, the vague nature of the term has helped it stay in public discourse for so long because it can mean anything, which makes it powerful but empty, right? It is a powerful phrase. It is a phrase that engenders anger. And you see so many angry people. And they're angry because they perceive that people are offended, which is brilliant. There's nothing that fills me with so much laughter as when I see someone getting so annoyed at the perceived annoyance of others. Like, can you, look in the mirror a second? Yeah. Lupita Nyong'o isn't my Helen of Troy. Why is everyone so offended? Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I know a lot of you are listening right now and just getting incredibly annoyed with what you're hearing. But what you should remember is that I don't care. I mean, look, you're probably annoyed because you're looking in the mirror right now and thinking, ouch, this stings. But I want you to know that it's not your fault. It's not your problem. I mean, and I think the first step to solving any issue, what we need to do is sit down and talk to one another. Not point and say meaningless terms, right? Recognize the fact that we hate in others the things we hate the most about ourselves. So let's stop mocking snowflakes, right? And calling them woke or anti-woke. I'll tell you now, right? If you promise never to use that word again, I promise I will not laugh at you anymore and I will not call you the anti-woke mob. How's about that? We'll make that deal. You know? Let's not accuse anyone else of virtue signaling when you're there saying, I stand to protect culture. Because it's not your fault and it's not your problem, is it? It's a media apparatus that has led you to believe those things. And the media apparatus is bigoted. And it clothes that bigoted nature of itself. Está disfrazado. The bigotry is disfrazado. It is disguised as a protection of culture. And that makes it easier to swallow for people like you and me. Because we want to protect culture. Oh my God. Woke. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. All right. Anyway, should we get to the results of the poll?
Can I say something?
Of course, Dan.
I think that many times companies, brands, and movies, for example,
Yeah.
they just add woke things.
Oh, Dan.
No, yeah, por llamarlo de una forma, I don't know how to call it. So,
Diversity.
no, well, diversity,
They employ diverse casts.
well, they add it
Yeah.
so that if the product fails, they just blame the anti-woke movement.
Maybe.
Like, if the product is bad anyways,
Mm.
they're gonna say, no, it's the anti-woke.
Can I be honest with you? Look, M&M's, I could give two shits if the green M&M is sexy or not. You make an interesting point, right? Since when were the three of the most beautiful words in the English language? Since when were they effective? Were they offensive? Diversity, equity, inclusion. Beautiful concepts. And it pisses people off to no end. Think about it. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Oh my God. And it pisses people off no end. It's crazy. It has us believing, middle-aged white men, has them believing that they are the victims in society.
No, but that's not my point. I mean,
No, I know. I'm just trying to get to trying to get to some kind of a conclusion in today's discussion. I know what you're saying that quite often, like, a movie will throw in some kind of diverse actor. So if the movie fails, well, it was the anti-woke people. I don't think any movie company is trying to fail. And I don't think they're hedging their bets. And you know what? I trust an auteur director like Chris Nolan more than I do all the YouTubers saying, oh, look, they've got a trans actor and Lupita Nyong'o's black. You know, screw those guys. I don't get, like, Christopher Nolan has delivered some of the best movies in Hollywood. And if the movie fails, the movie fails. It might be garbage. Who knows? But it won't, because Lupita Nyong'o is a bad actress. She's awesome and beautiful. You know? Again, like, look, there are all sorts of messaging out there that will clothe their bigotry in the costume of protecting culture, and it makes it a much easier pill to swallow, but it doesn't necessarily. Yeah, it doesn't make it any less bigoted, as far as I'm concerned. It distracts from important issues by using buzzwords and smokescreens for various agendas, says Conman. Yeah, I agree, Conman. I agree. Yeah, because while we're all arguing about diversity and green M&Ms not wearing high heels anymore, they are taking more and more of our wealth and making it travel all the way up the ladder to the handful of people who already have all the wealth. Right? Interesting. Let me see. Should we get to the results of the poll? I think we probably should. Look at that. I've been monologuing for a long time today. All right. So I made the statement that the word woke is a meaningless word, right? It's a political dog whistle. La palabra woke es una etiqueta política vacía. And you guys said 75% true. Bridge here says, what I love most about your show, Rob, is how you love elegantly and inoffensively, skillfully pissing people off. I love it. Look, I'm not trying. Look, again, pity for the conned, and what I would love to do is have Elon Musk in this studio. I'd love to have any number of right-wing influencers in this studio and debate them, rather than the people that they've conned, right, into thinking that the real issue in society is that, you know, LGBTQ people, you know, have a flag while they're robbers of our wealth. Yeah. Anyway, friends, so there you go. That's today's unpopular opinion. Let's move on to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God. It was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys, and on that walk I encountered 100 humans and I asked them all a question. Today's question was... Hang on, I have to do some scrolling now. I got so carried away. Name something politicians lie about. Nombra algo sobre lo que los políticos mienten. That's today's 100 Humans. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I'm in possession of the top 7 answers. Your job in the audience is to identify the top 7 answers. Dan, something politicians lie about.
Lowering taxes.
Taxes, impuestos. Is taxes there? Yes, it is, Dan. Well done, dude. That's why he's Dan the Radio Man. It's the number 2 answer with 22 of 100 humans. Well done. Vero says the economy. The economy. Yeah, I mean, they do, don't they? But it's not there, Vero. I mean, it kind of is. But it's separated out into several different parts. If you know what I mean. So you have to be a little more specific than economy. It is a good answer. Employment, better employment, says the bridge. It's not there. It's not there. And it is another good answer, though. Well done, well done. By the way, a big thank you to Feno, Kitty, Carmen, Emily, Ivan Samroff, Anna Kasan, Ivan GP, Juan Arreo, KNDY, Mia, Raj, Pedro, many, many people. Thank you all for interacting today. Let's take a little look at our Instagram, folks. Carmen says, promises, promesas. They lie about their promises, campaign promises. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. 50 of 100 humans said promises. It's the number 1 answer. We haven't seen Carmen in the chat in a while. Where is she? Anyway, Feno Kitty says their qualifications, timelines for doing things. Eesh, getting close. Reasons for wars. Great answers. All of them great. None of them there. Wah, wah, wah. Emily simply says everything. Todo. Lowering taxes, says Ivan Samroff. Mia says spending. They're spending. Gasto público is spending there, which is kind of the economy, isn't it? Is spending there? Spending, taxes. Those two things together. Is spending there? Yes, it is. Well done. Raj says scandals. Political scandals, he says. Escándalos. Is scandals there? Yes, it is. Well done. Let's take another very quick look at our audience. Increasing pensions. Pensions. Is pensions there? Pensiones. Is it pensiones? Yeah, it is, right? No, it's not. Womp, womp, womp. Carmen is in Amsterdam with her exhibition. So proud of her. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Good for her. Do check out Carmen, by the way. She's an amazing artist. KNDY says, caring about the general population they lie about. I love it. Vaccines, says Juan Arreo. Intentions. Their intentions, says Juan Arreo as well. Their intentions. Intenciones. Is that there? Yes, it is. I believe they hardly tell a truth, says Anna-Kasan. Let's do some more scrolling. Maria MB says their achievements, sus logros, is achievements there. Yes, it is. Okay, let me see if I can prompt you with an answer. Not in Amsterdam, in Copenhagen. My bad, no problem, Vera. Okay, this is before they're even elected. They have to do something. They have to do something. And usually someone else is paying for it. They're not paying for it themselves. So before they're elected, they do something and someone else is paying for it. And they may lie about who's doing that paying. Oh God, I've just given it away, haven't I? It's campaign funding. Financiación de campañas. Well done, guys. Financiación. Thank you. Damn it. Damn it, Dan. Friends, with my help, you've just completed today's 100 humans! All right, let's go through the list. I asked 100 humans to name something politicians lie about. Nombra algo que sobre lo que los políticos mienten. In position number 7, we had campaign funding, 3 of 100 humans. In position number 6, with 4 of 100 humans, we had intenciones. In position number 5, sus logros, their achievements. In position number 4, scandals. 5 of 100 humans said that. In position number 3, we had spending. Gasto público, spending. 8 of 100 humans said spending is something politicians lie about. In position number 2, we had impuestos, taxes. Impuestos. 22 of 100 humans. And finally, in position number 1, promises, promesas. Well done, guys. Okay, friends, thank you so much for going on this journey with me. It's been quite an impassioned one. Thank you for your patience. I know sometimes I tend to do a little more monologuing than others. I promise next week we'll tackle some lighter issues. But yeah, I thought this was the week to tackle some, maybe more difficult ones. The last 2 days have been quite heavy in monologues from me. I promise I will curb that. Just a little reminder, on Instagram you can find Vaughan Radio, the whole Vaughan Radio queue, @ Vaughan Radio on Instagram. There's content going up there almost daily now. Do follow us on there. We do appreciate your support. Click like. Don't forget to share. As well as on this podcast, I would appreciate if you click like, share, leave a decent review. And I do, of course, thank you all for staying respectful. There are a lot of things you could have been doing this week, friends. A million things. But instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me and Dan, and it means the world. See you next time.